I don't know.
Did you hit record?
You see the level? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Hit record?
Yeah. 3, 2. All right, guys. So here we are. To the team. We're gonna try these things out. Where we're just gonna do some live stream reviewing. We're not trying to get crazy critical. We don't want anyone to feel bad or anything like that. But is there things we can improve? Probably. Always. And really, what would be cool is, for you guys just to hear some ideas and thoughts from us. By no means are we some crazy professionals or anything like that, but we have put a good amount in studying some stuff on YouTube and, watching things to try to help us. So really want to just create some stuff that will hopefully help us, help you guys have an understanding of what we kind of may understand or whatever. So again, we're just gonna go through this morning's live stream and kind of review it. So any thoughts on what we're doing?
Yeah, definitely. You've heard it said before, constant and never-ending improvement is what we want to do, is what we strive to do, And I would just say, don't get offended. We might nitpick a little bit, but criticism's good, especially for our team. It helps us to improve, and so and it'll be very beneficial to the team.
So let's get right on in. We're on here on our To The Team YouTube channel. Check that out. Hit subscribe. We're going to go to Rawls' channel. We should be streaming right now because it is Sunday morning. And then, so we're recording this during third service, but we're going to go ahead and go back to first service and just kind of go through a few different things. So starting back up at the beginning, what this is called is prelude, right? And, prelude's pretty important. There's a lot of communication of announcements and just things that are going on in the church. Right now, Daniel's kind of covering the prelude for us. He does a great job of getting the graphics and then just putting it together. One thing that we are missing with prelude, unfortunately, at least on YouTube, is we aren't doing background music. That's because of, some copyright issues, which we wish we could figure a way, which we have some ideas, but right now, we're just muting it. Mm-hmm. And then so right after prelude, 2 minutes before the service, super important, gets everybody right into where they need to be. We do a 2-minute countdown. So.
Yes, sir.
So always on point with this 2-minute countdown. That little ring in the video room, and then obviously, switcher hits that play video macro. Recording in front of house. Both have to put that fader up. So we're not getting on even to here. Oh, there we go. So look at these awesome tone lapses here.
Tone lapses.
It's been legit. We go full screen action.
Some of those are mine. Nothing. No, they're real awesome. The guy who made this 2-minute is a genius or something. I'm just kidding.
So I really want to point that out. About at the 3 seconds was pretty dope that got Sammy. Sammy does a good job of kicking it off already.
Yes.
But it's a good job on the switcher by not fading away too fast. It's okay that he's talking behind the thing. It's like it makes for a way more seamless.
A seamless
transition.
fade, or a cut, or like a J cut almost, right? You get the audio first, and then you get the video, and it just makes it feel that much more better.
So what's the issue here?
One thing I'd like to point out right here is you probably didn't, whoever was on TD, you probably didn't hit the macro or you didn't lock anything down. And I'll say that because camera 3, which is the end song camera now, is on projectors. And because it's on projectors, you're going to get this kind of mirror effect where you just see into it. And so, just be mindful of that, guys. If you don't end up using the macro, just make sure something's locked down for sure.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that when this happened, it was just like you saw it, you feel like, I messed up. And it's okay. We're just trying to point some things out so everyone could kind of understand what had happened. And so, it just didn't hit that macro and it didn't put something on screen. So, not a problem at all. So,
yeah, so let's continue.
There's 2 ways to avoid it. Is you have the camera operator and then the switcher. So the switcher would easily, okay, see that? I got to fade out there. But obviously, within the song, the only thing that's happening is electric guitar. So like, where else can you go?
Yeah.
Unless you have like a drum shot set up or whatever. So that's cool. And that's kind of a thought too. Is like as a switcher, always know like if shot goes bad, where am I gonna go?
Yes.
But I know that's a huge challenge, and it's kind of usually the idea. I'm gonna stay on 5 until I go to Sammy or whoever's leading, right?
Yeah.
And that's a good thought, but having a backup shot's good too.
Definitely, I think you can, not to put blame, but it's definitely a point of failure for the TD and the Camera 5, because there should be that communication of, hey, the shot's running out. I need you to pick another shot, or I'm just gonna do another move, or the TD operator should be in communication, saying, I have Camera 5, I have you, then I'm gonna go to Camera 3, or I'm a Camera 2. Having that forethought of building your shots so you don't run into issues like this. But issues like this, they're not necessarily a problem. I mean, me and Cam have talked about it so many times, as you can attest, that limitations are great sometimes. Limitations cause you to be creative, and maybe the shot was nice, but maybe next time of just getting a different shot from a different angle, or being creative in any way, really.
Yeah, I think, if I was on Camera 5, an ideal situation in complete control is, if it started off great, and as you start seeing, like, oh, wait, there's a bad shot, like, just make the adjustment and zoom back in. That would have been the game changer of, like, pulling out right here.
So, yeah,
boom,
right there, and then back in.
And obviously that takes a little bit of practice, because you got to be zooming out slow, and then, I got to push back in, right?
Pulling focus as well.
Yeah. So, just a little nitpick there. Cam 5 or whoever, any type of camera position, if you're doing a move, you're pulling out, and then you see something bad, just kind of slow it down and go back in or something, or pan away or whatever. So, the next transition, which is really good, is from here to what's happening is the lead singer, or the lead singer in the song.
The lead singer in this song, yes.
Singing. So let's see the timing of it, because when she starts that first word is when we want to see her, right?
Yep.
So it's pretty good. I mean, getting crazy, but like, I wish it was a tad sooner or whatever, but it's good.
Yeah, I mean, when you really look at it, there's multiple ways you can go about this. Is the song was going fast, and so you could have cut and it would look just as great, but when I really look at it, like, that fade lines up with what she's saying, with that long vocal. She's saying out so long, and she stretches that one lyric, and the fade just lines up perfectly with it. Yeah, it
was good. So the nitpick here is with this kind of, you called out into darkness, you kind of know what that, phrase, or I don't know what the technical term is, but you know that there's going to be like a little bit of break. If we know the song, we're going to hear the little electric guitar go tick, tick, tick.
Yeah.
So you should kind of, or you could, know already, like, okay, there's going to be a little break. I'm going to go to electric guitar, I'm going to go to drums, I'm going to do something, right?
Yeah.
So, like, let's just replay that with that shot. So you called out in the darkness, and then you could go electric guitar,
cut,
and then back.
And yes.
And so you could kind of see that without it, it was perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
But adding that extra little shot in there would even be that much better.
Yeah, it definitely does ramp up production when you're able to get those, I want to say establishing, but you get those perspective shots. You hear the guitar going, and then you're seeing the guitar.
Yeah, that's the key.
Matches it up perfectly.
I'll say this too, though, that this little fade is great placement. Obviously we're not doing the whole morphing, but you guys have placed them in different parts of the frame. And then even the movement's a little bit different. You got a little pull here, and then I think we go to a little push, and that's great. The timing of it too was great. It was the first part of the phrase and then the second part. So it's cool.
Nice.
And again, also, like, she is the lead in this part right now too. So we're staying on here perfectly fine. It makes total sense. Mm-hmm. But you also got to know what's going to happen next.
Yes.
Pretty sure the singers are going to come in.
Yeah, so that just falls in line with the learning the songs. As technical director. A part of your job description is knowing the songs,
Yeah.
really learning those beats and those when people come in and go out, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Perfect. Exactly when she comes in, Sammy's comes in.
It's a little faster beat. I would definitely recommend cutting at this point because
There you go.
yeah, just like that cut right there. It definitely did speed up.
Cool.
Nice.
Sweet. Let's go ahead and go to another song. Nice bass.
That's good.
You got
Nice.
Sammy talking.
That's good. Awesome. Love the crowd. It's perfect timing.
Mhm. It's a little bit too long in that Sammy shot, but still good. You really want to find, let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
You want to find that kind of, right?
Yes, that repeating beat.
Is my snapping pretty weak? It's pretty weak. Man. See, we cut, ready? Cut. But,
Yeah, so pretty much what Cam's trying to demonstrate is that in every song, you're going to have a repeating. All the beats are going to repeating. And I've explained this before, but it's if you have a song and it has 4 musical notes, right? Let's just label it as 1, 2, 3, 4. At one time in a song, and pretty frequently, they're going to repeat. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, the song could go 1, 3, 2, 4, 1. 1, 3, 2, 4, 1. 1, 3. So on that 1, you always want to cut because it's just going to sound great.
yeah.
And it's gonna feel great and it's going to look great.
One thing you could always listen to is the drums, right? Because they are on this metronome.
Yeah.
And you could follow that snare.
Yes. You always get that. Yeah.
And it's, you know, I do this in edits too, and then it's pretty close to live stream cutting, is that you're not going to just sit there and every time that snare hits, you're going to cut, you're going to
Oh,
cut.
yeah.
Like, you got to let some shots breathe, you know, and
Oh,
you
yeah,
got to also
definitely,
change it up. When you get a crazy perfect pattern, it's just, you know, you're not feeling out the song and everything. you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Use your discernment.
So, but other than that, like the shots are great, the movement, the timing of it, it could be a lot tighter when the song's like going hard. It could be a lot faster, but it's definitely, it still works and it still is great and it's not distracting. It's still following, you know, the song, which is good. So let's go ahead and get into Raw a little bit after Sammy's prayer.
Allowing ourselves to praise you, Lord, not just for we all be together as one voice by saying,
So great timing,
Mm-hmm.
and song 1.
And there was supposed to be a video played here.
Yeah.
During first service. It was supposed to be a Ryan video, but Raw had walked out, and me and Cam had talked about is we understand the struggle of something's on planning center, something's planned out, and Raw walks out. Like, definitely, you don't want to play a video if he just start talking. It would throw him off, and you'll know it would throw him off. But at times, he just walks out, and he'll prepare, and he knows there's a video. So there's some times where you do want to play the video. There's no definite answer, but definitely just the TD operator using your discernment of when to play that video when situations like this do come up.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you're on the board and there's somebody else, around you. I mean, get everyone's like, should I play it? Should I play it? Like, it's totally fine. Get on the recording call. Should I play it? Should I play it? And just kind of like make the decision off of that, Especially if we come in and ask, like, okay, what happened? Like, we just want to know, And if you stand behind, well, Raul's out there, I didn't feel right about, then good.
Perfectly okay,
you know? So there's not going to be a right or wrong answer as far as like, yeah, you should have played it, or yeah, I'm glad you didn't, because it could go either way, and it's so changing all the time. So I would lean towards following planning center. I would lean towards, hey, that was the plan, because obviously if you go according to plan, you could fall back on that. Like, it was set for that, but if he starts talking and all that stuff, then why would we throw him off? So, but that's definitely going to be a challenge always moving forward, and just know that's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
So, nice live wide shot. It's great. Timing of it was great.
And
good.
Go ahead. Just play it. Go to that camera 2 shot. So, this shot, I know there's a lot going forward, and me and Cam always wanted that nice smooth in shot, that movement. Life is movement into raw. But I can say this as well, is it might be the camera angle, but camera 2 does look a little unbalanced. It does look a little tilted to the left. The left side looks lower than the right side. So a good thing, and just reminder to everybody, when you go on cams, when you're up there on the chair, just make sure everything's plugged in. Make sure that the head is balanced. Make sure the gears aren't too tight for you. So everything looks good and everything feels great.
Yeah. Always do that right before service, or as soon as you get here. You know what. You should know what you're on, because of ministry space and everything, and just check that camera and see where you're at, or see how the camera's doing. If there's issues, always bring it up to Brad, bring it up to Gabe or whoever, and just over communicate. Right? This is not looking good. This is whatever. But yeah, I'd definitely like to bring back this whole camera 2 push-in. So if you're on 2, remember to have it a little bit wider, knee up or whatever, and just ready to slow push in to that nice tight shot. Especially that end song 3, nice looking good, and then boom into 3. It just grabs your attention and tells you where you're to focus. But everything else is good too. I'd like to point this out too. As a team, always check if these graphics are on. The bugs. Yeah. You got the Somebody Loves You logo at the top, and then you got the giving on the bottom right. Always just, you don't see it, just bring it up. Hey, it's supposed to be on, blah, blah, blah. That's something we forget a lot. And it definitely looks great when we have it on. So one thing too is, just even this morning we reminded you guys of, we got to go back to adjusting our shots. So for a while we were going where if you're on camera 1, you're that kind of 3 rows in raw. If you were there, we would just leave you there the whole service. But we're going back to a way of, no, every so often your technical director is going to go ahead and make that adjustment and say, okay, I want you tighter, I mean wider, whatever the case is. And so this first service, just looking through it real quick, you can see those shots.
Yep.
And it's really cool. It's shots that we haven't seen in a while, because we stayed pretty stagnant. So, but all of these, I know you guys are going to do great, but let's just go and talk about this. Explain the not the lower thirds, but the rule of thirds that we're using here.
So the rule of thirds is if you divide your shot into 3. So you have your left, your middle, and your right, your upper, your middle, and your lower. And right here, we're really going to talk about your left. And if you were to put the line straight down, you do see that Raw has a lot of space behind him, but also a lot of good space in front of him. It's kind of directing, letting the people know he's talking that way. Because if it was the other way, if he was more on the right third, it would look like Raw's talking to no one. He's just, like Cam had said many times, he's just facing a wall. And he would have all this negative space. But right here, as you see in this picture, the negative space is really good. It's really minimized, and you have all this positive space in front of you. And it really showing that he's addressing the people. He's addressing the crowd. So it's really good. Always remember to just break your shots into 3s.
Yeah. Yeah, you you could put him in the center, and it feels less like he's not talking to like a big
Yes.
room.
Yeah.
This gives that space, that context, to who he's talking to and all that kind of stuff. Really brings that person at home into the sanctuary. Without, if it was super, super wide during his teachings, then your focus would just be on the people, the building, the rooms.
Yeah.
So it's so cool because that's also another thing is even if you look at any of these people, you know where they're looking, which that literally drives your eyes to look at Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we could see that rule of thirds being done from like a camera 3 as well. There's a little bit more lead room than the room behind him, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
It was supposed to be spiritual.
I believe if we go forward, we'll be able to see where
All we knew
the
was
shots
ourselves, all we knew
change,
was
and
the
it just
devil.
looks amazing.
All we knew it was to live for self.
Yeah, so here we got one. Now, it was that 3 rows, and now it's a tight shot. Looking
It
good.
looks good.
The only thing, reminder, is be careful, especially on camera operators on one. A lot of times, it was wide and you left it alone, but he could take a step or two,
Yep.
gotta follow.
And I would not only say that, is he'll take a step or two, so 2 follow, but even on camera 1, you really got to watch out people coming out of this hallway. There's been instances where Dale's watching Raw from right here, or Sean, or Ryan's back there with the kids, and they're just right behind this curtain that's right behind Raw. So you definitely have to pay attention and watch.
Yeah, for sure. But I think everything else is pretty legit. Just moving forward, guys. I'm excited to see what we're going to do with these things. I hope they help. We're definitely not trying to, just create this content. Light what? Light looks good? Junior thinks the light looks good?
Oh,
Great.
randomly? Right
Thanks
now?
for telling us right now, Junior. But yeah, excited guys because we just want to continue to help move forward. If you guys have questions, I guess we can say drop it down below. It's pretty.
Yeah.
I never said that before,
Yeah.
but text, email, message, whatever. Let us know if this video helped, so we can create more, or tell us if we did wrong, so we can do right.
Tell us if you're offended so we can ignore you.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll file it away.
Yeah. It'll get to the proper people.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.